We know that global interest in text generation is peaking, but global trust in AI generated information is not. Generative AI models produce harmful outputs. My name is Swapneel Mehta, and I'm the founder of Slim PPL, which is a research collective working to improve trust online. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my ideas on building trustworthy AI tools for journalists to tackle disinformation in this crowded information environment with generative AI. LLMs generate factually incorrect information with high confidence and potentially high persuasiveness. I think the influence and connection between AI and disinformation emerges right from the get go, where AI is trained on, or large language models in particular, as well as image models like stable diffusion based models. They are all trained on large volumes of unfiltered data from the internet, or at any rate, lightly filtered data from the internet. And I say that because over the past years, we have seen a lot of research emerge on the biases in these data sets, where for example, generates faces of a certain race, even though people belong to a different race. So they created a white Obama based on a data set that they had trained on, which did not include, evidently, any people of color. So the question for me is AI going to produce more disinformation? And if so, the clear answer seems to be yes. And if so, what kinds of mitigations can we put into place? And who would be responsible for creating mitigation measures to limit the harmful effects of AI, especially when it comes to disinformation? And that is where I see media and journalists and news institutions playing a major role, because historically your job has been to be providers of accurate information, and in this era of AI, the onus is on you to continue to do that, and that, I think, will be the value add that people will look to you to provide. So if you can successfully do that with or without the use of your own AI technologies, I think that will be a game changer and tilt the sort of AI and disinformation debate slightly in favor of the AI direction, where you can define ways in which we can use AI and generate trustworthy AI tools for users to benefit from downstream. Using AI in newsrooms comes at a variety of different steps in the news creation process: news gathering through heterogeneous sources, fact checking, which includes claims verification and validation of information, content generation, adaptation, and summarization, language translation, marketing, and many more parts of this process. I think you should treat your data like your IP, but you shouldn't just sit on it. You should use that data to build actively on top of it and create consumer facing tools that allow you to better interface with your audiences. Grounding our chatbots in factually verified information for better performance is going to be imperative moving forward, and we are lucky that we have mechanisms today already that allow us to do this. So one concrete example of this kind of system is what people call a tip line. A tip line is a phone number that users can text, can users can call to get their claims verified and to get essentially accurate information about a certain event. In a lot of cases where tip lines were used, this was about elections, because there was a politically charged ecosystem and a very dynamic information environment in which they did not know what information coming their way was true and what information was false. So a tip line is something like a WhatsApp phone number that you text with the kind of claims that you've seen emerge in your community, in your information ecosystem at large. And the tip line will either provide the existing fact checked claims, answering whether that claim is accurate or misleading or what you should be understanding from that claim. The other thing that a tip line does is collect claims from large volumes of users who submit claims to them, especially when these claims have not been verified. The tip line helps prioritize which claims are most prevalent in the community and therefore should be fact checked or should be verified by the local authorities first. We built a menstrual hygiene management information system in Bengali disseminated via a WhatsApp tip line. This used the concept of retrieval augmented generation for chatbots, which means it retrieves information from local memory instead of using the pre trained knowledge of a large language model. This chatbot then chats in the local language over a local document set of factual and verified information related to menstrual hygiene management that we have provided to it in partnership with a non governmental organization that created this documentation to run in person camps about awareness for menstrual hygiene management. Why should you care about this kind of application? Well, because the concept of retrieval augmented generation makes it possible to create a variety of different types of chatbots that can serve your use case. The way retrieval augmented generation works is a user sends a query to a retrieval model. This retrieval model now searches over a knowledge base to retrieve relevant document chunks, including facts related to the query at hand. This is then fed into the large language model that relies on this retrieval mechanism as opposed to searching through its pre trained knowledge to generate an answer. This process severely reduces hallucinations and results in factual and accurate information available for the audience based on which the answers are generated. It's important to note that this is not a catch all solution, but now you can imagine this chatbot sharing information from your newsroom, sharing answers from your articles directly in a conversational UI with the user over a chat bot of your preference, either WhatsApp or Telegram or any application you would like. So, as a newsroom in this era of generative I think the first steps you want to take is to create a mechanism to operationalize your data. What this means is you are no longer relegated to using certain rigid structures to employ over your dataset. You can actually use your articles just as documents within AI systems that can leverage the information from those documents. So you're essentially in a place where there is no heavy lift required for you to use your data in AI systems. And that's the first point at which you should be experimenting with, hey, I have 10 articles that I've put into a document, and I'm trying to feed this to my AI model to see if it answers questions over these documents. Now, the one bracket I would use is you want to be careful about which AI systems you use to prototype these things, because some of the systems in the past have been known to use that data for training their own systems. So you don't want to end up giving out your data to a proprietary large language model provider that uses your data sets to train their models. But on the other hand, you have this opportunity to test how models perform given the context and the document sets over your articles, your reporting, your past fact checks, and all of the content that your outlet has generated, so that you can test if it speaks in the voice of your outlet.